Up until yesterday, the Indianapolis Colts had two of their quarterbacks waiting at the bus stop. That is Daniel Jones and Anthony Richardson. Daniel Jones, former sixth overall pick, did his time with the Giants. Apparently, they thought he did good enough to where he got his second contract, $82 million guaranteed over 2 years. And once that guaranteed money ran out, that was it. KLC, Kevin O'Connell, head coach of the Vikings, is probably one of the best QB whisperers in the National Football League. So he's looking now to be his new self, to be a better version of himself at the quarterback position. Meanwhile, Anthony Richardson, this is a former fourth overall pick from the University of Florida, incredibly raw talent. This might be the most rawest of quarterbacks going into the draft. And they chose to take him fourth overall. So far, it hasn't worked out yet. 15 games played. He's dealt with injuries as well, but 15 games played, an average of 51% completion rate, 11 touchdowns to 13 interceptions, talking about the passing game. And the Indianapolis Colts have made their decision that Daniel Jones, you no longer need to stand and wait at the bus stop. You can spread your wings and fly as our starter. And this isn't temporary, this is for the whole season. Meanwhile, for Anthony Richardson, adios, muchacho. Now, what does this mean for Indy? Barring some sort of injury to Daniel Jones to where you're forced to play Richardson, this will be the final year that you will see Richardson in a Colts jersey. And I've been highly critical of Anthony Richardson going back to his college days at Florida, but I can't blame him for the current situation right now in Indy. I blame the media, NFL insiders, NFL analysts, the Indianapolis Colts, basically everybody that was hyping this guy up. He's a first round selection. He's not a first round selection. His quarterback basic skill level of accuracy and going through reads and precision throws just was not there from the first place. That if you are going to take Anthony Richardson with the intention of him eventually being your franchise quarterback, you need to understand that you need extreme patience and you need a hell of a coaching staff to prop him up to be at the very best that he can. And he just didn't get that in Indy. And who knows if he can be any better than what he is now. But everything that you've seen from Richardson in the 15 total games he's played over the last 2 years, everything you've seen from Richardson as an Indianapolis Colt is exactly who he was at the University of Florida. That you need the quarterback coach and head coach Shane Steichen to be all hands on deck with this guy. That if he's going to be successful, you're going to have to coach this dude up like it's no tomorrow. Instead, Shane Steichen, he shut it down. Anthony Richardson is now with the announcement that he's going to be benched for the season. Anthony Richardson may be the second coming of Trey Lance, a guy that's super athletic that they take in the first round and it doesn't work out and they just trade him away and he can just, I can't even say never get his mojo back, because at the NFL level, Trey Lance and Anthony Richardson so far, they don't have any mojo. They're just trying to survive at this point. Maybe Richardson can get another shot wherever he gets traded. He's going to get traded. I don't see them cutting him. They're going to trade him, but at most for Anthony Richardson, I think his value is maybe a fourth round pick at best, but that's it. Now for GM Chris Ballard and head coach Shane Steichen, this has to be a make or break year for them. They have to be on the hot seat. You already benched your former fourth overall pick, that you are riding come hell or high water. You are putting your Colts careers on the line for Daniel Jones. And if Jones flops, everybody should be fired. Clean house if you're the Colts ownership. Now, if Daniel Jones flourishes, whatever he learned in Minnesota from Kevin O'Connell, if he can bring that over to Indianapolis and be successful, and the Colts, they get a double-digit win season, especially in one of the weakest divisions in football, I would say right there along with the NFC South, you're playing in the AFC South. If Daniel Jones can bring it and bring the Colts back from the dead, then okay, go ahead and extend them. They can then go to ownership and say, look at how successful Daniel Jones was for us. We finally have our new franchise quarterback. Then cool. But if not, everybody needs to be fired. And with Chris Ballard especially, he's going into his 9th season as GM. In those 9 seasons, or he's going into his 9th season, but in his first 8 seasons, 1 playoff win, 2 double-digit win seasons, and 3 coaching changes with a 62-69-1 record. What are we waiting for? What is happening? How has he lasted for this long? The fact is that AR was always a huge risk to take in the top 5 for sure, but definitely in the first round. Me, myself, I would have taken him best case scenario in the 4th round if I were the Colts, but I understand that would not have been a possibility. That after, in this hypothetical situation, after the Colts would pass on by AR, another team in the first round would select him. But the Colts chose to take on this huge risk. And that's on leadership. That's on the GM. That's on the head coach. Shane Steichen and the QB coach should have put in, and maybe they did put in a ton of work with him, but obviously it wasn't good enough, or Anthony Richardson just isn't that guy, which is on really Chris Ballard and the scouting department. If it fails, if Daniel Jones isn't the second coming of Jesus for this team, everybody should be fired.